Okay, so now that we know what podcasting is and why some people are doing it, let's look at the do-it-yourself guide that I've put together here. For step one, I'd like to just focus on the equipment that we're going to need. First and foremost, we are going to need a computer. Now, it doesn't have to be a super high-end rocket ship of a computer. It can be, just as long as the computer has a sound card for audio and a microphone input jack, and it runs, Windows XP, Mac, whatever, that'll pretty much do. Most likely, the computer that is too slow to do other things often works just fine for creating audio recordings. Headphones and microphone. We'll need the headphones to listen to the recording, and we'll need a microphone to actually record ourselves. Um, as I've shown in this picture here, oftentimes people fall down the hole of trying to get a really high-end microphone or headphones. You really don't need to do that. For example, the headset and microphone I'm using right now to record this is a, pretty much bottom of the line, kind of comes with your computer type of headphone microphone system. And if one needed to purchase one of these, you could get one for around $20. So not a big um, hurdle to jump over there. And finally, an internet connection. We're going to need that when we upload our audio and put it on either a blog or a web page. Okay, so let's go on to step two. Now we need to set our computer up to record audio. Okay. A lot of computers have audio recording capabilities built in. However, to make this as simple as possible, I've kind of gone with what the industry standard is these days, and that is to use Audacity. It's a free tool that can be downloaded from the internet. I have the link here for you. Uh, and basically, it's really straightforward. There's some good step-by-step instructions for downloading Audacity, and we'll walk through that in a second. After you install Audacity, there is a small little add-on we need to install called the Lame DLL, and that is simply for exporting our audio recording into a compressed MP3 format. Audacity will by default record in a much larger file format, and so that makes it a little bit tricky for uploading to the web and downloading by users. So the standard is to use the MP3 format, and the lame DLL will allow Audacity to save your audio as compressed MP3 files. Okay, so then the third step within step two is to run Audacity and start recording. Okay, so I'm going to get away from my slide deck here and kick up the Audacity program. This is what Audacity looks like. I installed it just like many of you probably will, or I hope you will. Basically, I just went to the Audacity webpage, which is again right here. We'll go ahead and pull that up in Internet Explorer so that you can see. So this is the Audacity homepage, and right here you can see there's a link to download Audacity, as well as some steps. Within this list of steps, you can see the lame MP3 encoder. So that's a link to basically download and apply the lame DLL MP3 encoder for Audacity. Okay, so the steps for installing, like I said, it's really straightforward. Unfortunately, I've already installed it on this computer. So what I'm going to do is basically assume that you now have installed Audacity on your local computer and that you're ready to make your first recording. So let's go ahead and flip over to Audacity. Okay, so within the Audacity tool, you see the common controls that we've all grown accustomed to from the Walkman days, the VCR days, and whatnot. We've got our record button, pause, play, stop, forward, backwards. Um, Basically, right here we've got the microphone input and speaker or headphone volume level. So when we go to record, we can see that basically as I'm recording my voice right now, you can see the different levels coming back. So now that I have recorded and made a small recording of my voice, I can see the profile of that sound, which is, I think, very interesting to see. But now we can actually play it back. Um, so as well as edit it. Now, there are some really neat help files and information off of the Audacity website for learning how to do more advanced things such as editing, clipping media apart, mixing multiple tracks. However, all of that again is advanced, and you don't have to know how to do that to make a basic recording. So now that we've made this basic recording, uh, I will show you how to then export that as an MP3 file. So here in our file menu, you see this export as MP3 option. When we click on that, it's going to pop this up and ask us to do a save as. Now, if you've never saved a file as MP3 within Audacity, the first time that you select the export as MP3 file option from the file menu, it's going to ask where the lame.dll file that we mentioned earlier, where that is. So if you haven't downloaded and installed the downloaded the lame.dll file, that'll be your prompt to do it, because you'll think, well, where is that? Oh, I haven't downloaded it yet, so go ahead and do that. In my case, I've already set that up just to save a little bit of time. And so we can now see here a list of files that I've already saved, but we can go ahead and save this one that I just created. Let's call it my test. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and save that. And we see here this format and a little dialog here for filling out information that gets embedded into the MP3 file itself for use in things like iTunes or other MP3 software where they actually look into this. So I'm just going to type my name as actually the title. I'm going to just say is my test. The artist, I guess, would be me. I don't always consider myself much of an artist, but here I get to be one. It's not an album and track number, year. Well, I'm going to go ahead and say 2008. And this isn't, I believe they have a category here for spoken word. Um, Certainly not death metal. So let's just, let's say it's a trailer, but, just for time's sake. All right, so we click OK, and off goes our MP3 file. Okay, so going back to our slideshow, now that we've covered step 2, let's move on to step 3.